Alright guys, thanks again for joining me. This is Cat's Pajamas here, bringing game number 2 of the set between VTspades, spawning as our Red Terran player down here at the bottom right-hand corner of Shakuras Plateau. His opponent here in the top left-hand corner is Millstephano, spawning as our pink Zerg player. Now, Stephano was way down in game number 1. Spades managed to kill his base, his expansion, I should say, with a bunker rush. But Stephano ended up quad expanding at one point, and Spades never really put on the pressure and allowed Stephano to just start massing units, running them, picking off what he could. Did a good job with his Mutalists as well, running them around, picking off a pretty good portion of Spades' economy. More importantly, picked off a 4th base that was going down to the bottom right-hand corner of Zelnaga. And Spades was thus confined to 1 base mining for quite a while. Even though he had a lot of resources banked, was never really to pull himself back into it. So I'm curious to see how Spades decides to change this up. Now, I would almost guarantee 99.9% chance, or 99.9% sure, that Spades is not going to do any sort of a 2-Rax rush. He could, but he's probably not going to. Walk distances are very long here, and in fact, we do see gas coming down right away. So, Stephano is going to scout close positions horizontally, doesn't find anything, and decides to expand. So there's the hatchery. Spades already with 1 gas up, just about to finish that. Everything looks pretty standard out of these players so far. And here comes old Stephano, gonna find his opponent. I don't think Spades has done any scouting yet. Nope, pretty trademark of Spades, throw up the late scout. And looks like he is going to move out now. If I had to guess, I'm going to say that this is going to be some sort of a Hellion expand, that we're going to see a reactor, and then we'll see a factory, and we'll kind of go from there. Let's see, there's a Marine moving itself up to the front. Could also be a quick expand, but we'll see. Stephano, on the other hand, does have a spawning pool and an extractor coming up. SCV for Spades does manage to make its way in. Finds his opponent. And, alright, so neither player's really revealed what they're going to do quite yet. Spades does drop down the supply depot to let the SCV back in. He's got enough money to go ahead and drop down both a reactor and a factory if he wants, but it doesn't look like he's going to. He has 1 SCV there. He's going to make his way out with a couple of Marines as well. We'll see if he just tests the waters, puts down a bunker just to try, and get a bunch of units to move across. And already we see Stephano dropping down Spinecrawler number 1. Drone being brought out as well to attack this SCV, but there's a couple of Marines here. Spinecrawler still has 35 seconds left. This bunker only 18. And the Spinecrawler is in range of these Marines. Has to move itself to the back a little bit. A bunch of drones are going to be brought in, but this bunker only has about 3 seconds until it finishes. Spades, he gets in with the Marines. And the SCV gets in as well. So this bunker pressure already going to be pretty effective. Spades could run this next Marine into... No, Marine's just kind of looking. There we go. Now I'm going to join the firing range. And it looks like Spades is going to try and move up, do some damage to the drones, not just the hatchery. Does manage to get back in with that last Marine there. And so, yet again, more damage being done to this hatchery. And Stephano once again has to overcommit to a bunch of Zerglings. So even without the overt bunker pressure, Spades still manages to pull it off, going to double factory. So it looks like he will follow this up with Blue Flame Hellions again. And a bunch of Zerglings make their way out. 1 Zergling almost goes down. And here comes Stephano now. The SCV just runs itself away, abandoning its friends. And the rest of the Marines are going to fall. So Stephano holds. Let's see how many workers went down. It looks like 3 workers. Spades killed 3 workers. Spades now running back to nothing at the moment. Just 1 tech lab being finished. A couple of Hellions coming up. And this SCV coming back to tell the tales. You don't know what I've seen, man. Stephano is just about to finish his Zergling speed. Reactor coming up for Spades. Feels pretty secure that he can drop down that add-on. Doesn't just need to push out a bunch of units. Eventually we'll see some tech switches between these structures and things like that. But he is going to be able to get up a good number of Blue Flame Hellions. We'll see if he puts up a starport to do a drop at the same time, or if this is just going to be a push. Stefano has good positioning on his Spine Crawler, but it's not going to be able to watch everything. Let's actually see how many workers Stefano has. 21 to his opponent's 26 and 2 mules. So Spades' economy is once again very, very good. But Spades is close to getting to the point where he's going to be oversaturated on one base once again. It'll need, I would expect, I guess I should say, for him to establish his next expansion a little bit faster this time. So let's see, 3 Hellions being produced at a time. So Spades is going to make a huge coordinated Hellion attack. There we go, more Creep Tumors coming down. This was Stefano's, well, part of his saving grace. In the last game, was able to position his units pretty well, even with the small amount of creep spread he had. And I hope he continues that in this game, as he did manage the bunker push quite a bit better this time and actually caused Spades to lose quite a bit of resources. But Stefano's still playing grossly from behind. 29 workers to Spades 35. Finally, we have the expansion sitting itself down. Huge group of Hellions coming up. We'll see how much damage he can do. The Blue Flame Hellions have revealed themselves to the Zerglings that are sitting over at the Xel'Naga Tower. Here comes Spades. He's going to make his way in. This is really, really good positioning, though. And yes, that is going to turn Spades away. Scans up. Manages to pick off a Creep Tumor. It's a good little gain for him. There's already another Creep Tumor in place, though. Does he get it? Oh my god, he actually breaks through! And a lot of Zerglings are going to go down. These Hellions could fall, though, not being the most cost-effective they could be. A few drones are starting to get roasted. Picks off 4 at the natural. Doesn't manage to get any at the main. Actually does equalize the supply for the 2 players. So Stefano had a little gap in his wall. Unfortunately, the Hellions did make their way through, but they really didn't kill a ton of units. Zergling counterattack, though, does manage to kill a few workers. It's like 2 workers killed to 7, so Spades actually only killed 4 workers with that huge group of Hellions. But Spades still up in supply, still up in economy, still producing Blue Flame Hellions, still producing Thors. Wow, actually going to Thors. There we go. Probably worried about some sort of a Muta response. There is a Spire coming up at the moment, backed by the Baling Nest. Spades has 4 Hellions ready to go, though. Could just keep picking off Zerglings. And looks like he'll swing his way in. And this is just going to be to test the waters, because he won't be able to break through. Unless that Queen moves itself away. If the Queen moves herself away, it'll be bad news bears for Stefano. 1 Creep Tumor goes down. Didn't quite have enough to one-shot these. 3 Creep Tumors do fall, though. Good use of a scan. Spade's going to run himself away. And let's see here. Spades is actually pulling a significant lead. Stefano just kind of sitting back waiting for this macro hatch to finish, and then just go into full-on unit production. So let's see. Spades is going to a starport finally. Does have another factory coming up, so triple factory. Engineering bay on the way. I believe that's the first engineering bay. He actually put up his armory before the engineering bay. Does have +1 ground weapons for all of that mech. And let's see here. 6 Mutas finally about ready to pop up for Stefano. But don't know what he is. Let's see here. There's enough Marines in Thor's up. He just looks confused. I don't know. Stefano has just not been investing in a whole lot. He's not pushed out for an expansion yet, which is going to put him farther and farther behind, because you never want to be even bases with a Terran opponent if you're a Zerg player. Spade's going to swing himself up to the right. My god, he has a lot of Hellions. 5 + 6. He has 11 Hellions out on the field. And, oh, unfortunately, these are going to get caught by Mutalisks. 1 Hellion almost goes down. Down to just 2 hit points left. Spade's going to gather up all of his forces, though. Should lead with his Thor. At least he probably will. Could lose this Hellion here at the front, though. The Mulos are going to make their way in. There are missile turrets and Thors positioned everywhere. And that is going to nullify most of the effect of these Mulos. Oh my god, they clumped themselves up, and almost all of them are yellow barred. And that's probably going to turn away Stephano. He needs to regather the health on those forces. Stephano going to hatchery number 3 and 4. This is actually really good timing for Spades to start making his way across the field because of the amount of money that Stephano has invested in these hatcheries. And they have not turned a profit, obviously. And let's take a look. Infestation pit coming up, so something similar. Oh man, and 14 more drones coming up. So many of those Mutas are red bar, haven't really done all that much damage, and it looks like Spades is indeed going to make his way out. Probably should think about expanding as well, unless he is going to go all in. Wouldn't expect that to happen, though. Oversaturated on this little amount of mining, and oh no! All of these Banelings may get caught! It looks like they are. The Banelings do some damage, but they're forced away. Huge losses suffered for Stephano. Spades is in a commanding position, and he's going to be able to push in. There are 34 Zerglings and 13 Banelings being made at the moment. But Spades just scans, picks off a bunch of creep tumors. All of this is going to quickly recede. And this mech force is going to be able to crush through all of these Banelings that are being produced. Evolution Chamber is going to go down before +2. Here come all of the Banelings! Do manage to take out a couple of Hellions. But Stephano immediately GG's, knows he can't go against that force. Spades does tie this up 1-1. We're going to go into the rubber match best of this best-of-3 set. Here around 5-12 out of the IPL Season 2 qualifiers, Week 2. Don't go anywhere, guys. We'll be back in just a second.